Another cultural practice that really cause a lot of raising of heads
Yes.
in our society is the caste system.
Wow.
This practice in particular, I don't really understand a lot about it. Could you explain to me what this
Yes,
caste
so
system is about?
in my culture, the Igbo tribe, we have it as the Osu caste system. When you hear Osu, it represents the outcasts. They are called outcasts.
Okay.
It's a very shameful practice that I am not proud of. Abolishing it and really doing away with that practice will restore dignity
In humanity.
Yes, it will. And I do not support it from primary knowledge, really. You grow up and you are told about a certain people in your community that are called Osu.
Okay.
And the reason is because, I think there's a lot of history attached to it.
Okay.
But they are viewed as not being pure and not being of the same class as the people they call freeborn. In my community, you hear that maybe their forefathers, committed abominable crimes, and they are, condemned to be outcast and so many other things.
But that should not affect their innocent children, right?
Well, it is a generational curse, I would say. It affects everything about them.
Wow.
And
Does that include marriage?
Yes, like a freeborn cannot marry someone who is tagged Osu. So once a marriage intention is announced, the elders go on their little investigation to make sure that the person is a freeborn. So you're not supposed to have marital relationship with them. And, it even comes into politics. And, as much as we want to deny these things, it is real and people are going through these things.
Absolutely.
And, I remember having friends from a place that was called, by that.
Yeah.
And I loved my friends.
I guess this was when you were a child, right? When you're growing up here.
I mean, my mom never told us anything about this.
For you to treat them different. You used to just saw them as someone like you.
Yes. And that's how I still see everyone. When I was transferred to that community, and one of the guys told them that I do see them as who they are. That was how he said it.
Oh,
and I didn't even know they were different or people saw them as different.
You had no story, but you didn't even understand what the story is
about. As a child, I received, a shocker. And I was crying because these girls, they confronted me. And they wanted to know whether I said that. I said, no, I didn't. And, maybe yes. And it really is really sad because that was the end of that relationship. It was the end. And I went home and I was asking my mom, and she really started to educate me and told me that, this practice is happening here in my village, in my community, and they have it in her community. And as sad as it is, the elders will not allow you marry from that community.
Wow.
And so many things. I've even heard that you're not supposed to break, kola nut.
Wow.
In a gathering where there is a freeborn.
Yes.
If you have heard anything about this practice,
yes,
leave a comment below. Maybe I'm saying something that you know more about. Educate us in the comment section.
Or maybe you are even part of this group of people who are apparently called us, which we don't believe is the case. Like we are all the same. But please tell us your experience. Leave a comment and tell us your experience.
And tell us whether
the history behind this whole thing.
Yes, I want to know more. But it's really a big shame.
Yes.
So this practice is all about discrimination, segregation.
Yes.
It's all about discrimination.
Because even if it served a purpose some time back,
Yes.
Right now, I don't think it serves any purpose.
Absolutely.
And we have learned better.
So,
It's discrimination,
yes.
but as a form of hatred against a group of
It's
people.
hate.
It's not good.
It's more than hate, actually, because it is wrapped around ignorance.
The whole concept of instituting something like this
Yes.
doesn't make sense. But now I understand how, when you say Osu, I understand what they are being referred to as.
Yes.
Even though I don't believe in it, I
Yes.
don't see them that same way. And I see that they are just as the other freeborns. There's no difference to me.
And you know the thing, which is, I consider really very shameful in communities that practice this, I don't know what to call it, this evil.
Yes.
You have a whole village dedicated to that.
So no freeborn will be living with them.
No, they have like few, maybe strangers who are freeborn, but the people in the community who are not strangers
will never go and stay with them.
Yes.
Wow.
They always live together.
Kind of marginalized into a particular geographical location.
Yes, it's from generation to generation. Their children are that, and they even call them outcast. Yes.
They keep using the best derogatory word just to describe them.
And I can tell you that it even goes, beyond communal, living,
Yes.
stretches to political arena.
Wow.
The ones that consider themselves as freeborn will not want people who they consider as, the Osu
Yes.
to head over them. And it just is a shame. Though they are really fighting to be more noticed, to also represent in political places.
Yes.
And it is a widely spread practice in, the southeastern part of Nigeria that I don't know about other tribes in Nigeria. If you are from other parts of Nigeria and you have this system running in your culture, please leave a comment below, because we're here to learn from one another.
Or from a different
country. Do you
country.
have this practice in the Upper West region of Ghana?
I can't speak for every tribe, but as with the knowledge I know about my culture, the Dagawa people, there is nothing like this. There's no group of people from a particular village who are considered to be slaves or osu or more better than others because of maybe something their ancestors did.
Yes.
We're all the same, and we all intermarry in any way.
Wow.
Yes. The first time I learned about this thing was when I left the country. Wow. When I left Ghana, that's when I heard about caste system. I like, what is caste system?
Like talking about leaving Ghana and learning about it.
Yes.
It was similar to my experience.
Yes.
Being in Nigeria, I would say that I was really living in a bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghana educational system is really amazing. They teach you about slavery.
Yes, slavery, exactly.
Maybe it's because of the schools I attended. But the schools I attended did not really tell me the things I needed to know about slavery. Like, we talked about all these people that invaded, our country. We rather talked about them as great men who came to show us light. And, there was no specific, mention of, the effect and repercussions
what
of
they took, how the slavery,
and the things.
How they practice slavery.
To be honest, in Nigeria is not a conversation you would have with people. We don't have that kind of conversation. I know in Calabar there's something about slavery, side.
In Ghana, it's a very common thing because we have two more than 3 castles that were used for such things, and now have become tourist site where a lot of people still, even till today, you can still go to Ghana and you would see some of the slavery marks, especially something like their poops, where the poops used to rise up to. Even in the female dungeon still stinks.
Wait to visit that.
It still stinks. Similarly, the male dungeon stinks because they leave them stuck together. They don't take their shower, and it's so evident when you go there. You see the evidence of slavery.
Wow.
Yeah, perpetrated by the colonial masters.
So having that history,
yes,
you were prepared.
Absolutely.
But for me, a Nigerian, I can tell you, and I don't know about other Nigerians.
Yes.
I was living in a bubble. Like, hey, I'm Nigerian, everything. centers around, So I was really living in, I would say, ignorance. So arriving at the UK for studies,
Yes.
I was still living in this bubble, like I didn't know about slavery. I didn't know much. The things I was supposed to know about slavery, I did not know. And I remember I had a South African flatmate
Yes.
who one day with one of other flatmate who was
Yes.
an American, they were discussing the slavery and the consequences and
yeah.
the impact. And I walked into the kitchen. I'm like, so what are you guys talking about? And the South African guy was telling me that he was laughing at Loretta, you will be seen as a slave. And I was like, excuse me. Excuse me. And I was shocked, and I was really educated that day.
Yes.
And I got to know the seriousness of this thing that we just talk about
lightly in our community, like the slavery,
in
right?
Nigeria. And that got me thinking when I came into my room. I'm like, in my community, certain people are regarded as slaves, outcasts, low humans, and segregated against.
Yeah.
Everything you can think of. You're not supposed to marry
Being discriminated.
them. All of that. But here I am in the West, and they do not know the difference.
The same racial things could easily happen to you, irrespective of whether you are freeborn or you are from those systems.
So why do we do these things?
I'm of the opinion that maybe these things serve some purpose some time back in history, right? However, as we evolve, just as we human beings are evolving,
Yes.
shouldn't we be evolving?
We should.
Again, the other slavery, the major one that happened to a lot of blacks, especially from African continent, at a point in time, the people who perpetrated this slavery came together and realized that, look, of course, with the fight of the slaves fighting against it,
Yes.
they said, no, this is bad and this is not good. This is against human rights and we're going to stop it. And that thing was stopped. So why can't we stop these ones?
Yeah, it should stop. A lot of people have had to end their relationship,
because
end their marriages, because they later found out that the person was not freeborn. And when we just leave that community, when we leave our country, people don't know the difference.
Well, if you put an Osu person and a freeborn before me, I don't know the difference.
Yes.
All I see is two Igbo people.
It just doesn't make sense to us. And
it doesn't.
We should all get knowledge and
we should actually
uphold human rights.
And get along, because you are a descendant of a slave and I'm a descendant of a freeborn. As such, we should not intermarry. And even today, we have seen that descendants of slaves now are marrying people who their grandparents were once slave masters.
We welcome these developments.
Exactly.
And we celebrate love, but why can't we celebrate it back in our communities?
Because that would make it complete.
Yes.
Than just only going out there and recognizing, but yet when you come to your community, you pay a blind eye to it.
And calling someone slave, it's wrong.
It's not a nice name.
We are free in Christ.
Yes.
And who are you to call another slave? Because you have no authority. You are a human, having the same blood and the vein running through you. You are not a superhuman.
Yes.
So you have no power to condemn another human as slave. It can never and will never be justified.
I agree.
Never.
We need to think twice about this ASAP. As a community, not just for the two of us, but as a continent, as a a tribe, as a country, as a people that belong to the same culture and practicing something like this. To say, look, enough is enough.
I don't know what purpose is served. It's just the way we treat ourselves. I will not say you are freeborn if you are,
mentally enslaved. This kind of information.
You are not free.
You are not free.
You are living in sin, or living in the bondage of sin, or you do not know that there is a God in heaven.
Absolutely.
Like, you are not really free. We are humans and we should uphold and
Yes.
respect the dignity of other
others.
humans.
Absolutely.
This is our belief. So please leave a comment below.
Especially would like to see a comment from someone who is a victim of such system.
Yes.
And because we believe hearing a story like that from you personally would educate us even more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.